In today's video, I'm here to introduce the PlayStation 5 joystick that promises to put an end to drift forever. You know, the drift, that thing that makes your camera move to the side without you moving it. Because your analog stick is messed up. Well, with this joystick, that won't happen because it's not. There's no joystick. With this joystick, that won't happen because it has a technology. This is a case, the joystick isn't here. The joystick has a technology that makes the analogs float on magnets instead of being mechanical. It's complex to explain, but I'll try my best. Spoiler alert, it's not cheap at all. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm giving you a heads up. Are you gonna tell me how much it costs now, or do I have to wait until the end of the video, bro? Until the end. But look how nice the case it comes with is, huh? What do you say? How much is this worth? Take a risk in the comments. And we're going to start, as it couldn't be any other way, with a fake unboxing. You know, because in reality, I opened this a while ago. I've been using it. And in fact, when I opened it, I accidentally broke the box. And now I have to repackage it so you can see how it comes. The thing is, the brand we're going to review today is called Hexgaming. And the little controller inside here is the most pro controller they make, which is the Phantom, another little box. The packaging isn't bad, although for a premium product, it could be a little better. Just a plain black box and our case inside. Not much more. Underneath the plastic, yeah, we have some little manuals and a few other things that aren't worth reviewing right now, because what we're most interested in is in here. In a case that, by the way, is of very good quality. It's one of those fiber or something cases, or the like hard plastic coated like cloth. It has one of those dust-proof covered zippers, which is very good for a premium product. Look how nice the logo is on the front. Inside the case, we're going to find the controller. What a surprise! I thought I was going to find a kilo of tangerines. We actually have a quite justified case, because what comes here inside are quite a few things. Besides the little controller in question that we are going to leave for the end. Look, I leave it here like this. Meanwhile, you can go seeing it. We have a mysterious box that contains inside a configuration of levers of different surfaces and different lengths to configure your command. Very nice. We have a 2-meter braided cable that feels ultra premium, beautiful with its corresponding tape. For Velcro, we have some little rubbers that are protections for the levers, also very interesting. And finally, we have this, which is actually a novelty. I had never seen this in a PlayStation controller or in another type of controller, a system to calibrate the analogs directly from the controller. We are going to review this later. We are going to put this aside and we are going to go straight to the little controller in terms of sizes and dimensions of the little controller. We are facing an almost identical with a DualSense. In fact, you hardly notice the difference with the weight, although this one is a little bit heavier. The difference is minimal. If obviously when you grab them, you feel the difference of the back buttons and you immediately realize that this, well, is not a common DualSense, but in terms of dimensions and distances, it's the same. But what makes this controller special? Well, 3 things fundamentally. The first has to do with the triggers. It turns out that this little controller has these selectors on the back, that if we leave them in this position, the triggers are common resistive DualSense triggers, the same, identical, but if we move them outwards, the triggers not only shorten but become ultra fast switches with ultra short contact for better reaction time. I'm going to put the microphone close so you can hear it. It's not just that it shortens the analog path, but it transforms the analog button into a digital 1 and 0 off on click, 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 click. The second thing that makes this controller special are the 4 buttons we have on the back. We have fully configurable buttons without the need for any kind of software. We hold the button here in the middle, the bluish one, until it starts to blink. Once it blinks, we hold the button. We want to remap, for example, the triangle, because why not? And the button to which we want to assign it. For example, the triangle. and this we hold until it stops blinking ready. Reassigned, and now we can reassign, for example, this trigger here. We hold ready, reassigned, we finish reassigning, we give the button, we hold it ready, it's done. So every time we press this, it will be triangle, and this will be R2. This is useful more than anything to reassign the crosshair functions in competitive shooters, or reassign the triangle to change weapons without having to take your thumb off the analog. It's very useful for that. And thirdly, we have the analogs, which are the star of this controller that we can see here, that we can remove and change for the ones we want. It turns out that this joystick has Hall effect type analogs, which are the ones that are coming out right now on the left of the screen. The pink ones are analogs that base their technology on magnets, which in opposition move to determine the position of the lever. Unlike traditional analogs, which are the ones coming out on the right of the screen, which are the carbon film ones, which are the ones that usually have drift, that this sliding on a carbon plate is wearing out. And the mechanism is getting stuck, and well, it gives the drift error. This joystick has the mechanism on the left, the one that is on magnets, so it would never have drift. I haven't had it long enough to know whether it has drift or not, because it would take a lot of time for it to develop drift, whether it's a normal DualSense or this magnet technology. But I've had it long enough to tell you that the feeling of the joysticks floating on magnets is delightful. It feels super smooth, and also when the joystick returns to the center, it returns immediately. And the resistance of the fingers to the movement is very smooth. I have no way to explain it because it's a sensation of the fingers. These little rubber pieces I was showing you earlier are for putting on the analog, like this on the outside of the lever, which is not at all easy. There it goes, that's how it ended up. And I don't know if it can be appreciated, but it would be between the lever and the edge of the analog to generate another type of resistance at the end. You can see it there, right? Like this. Personally, I don't like it because I like the feeling of the little lever directly sliding over the edge of the analog, which makes it quite smooth. And finally, we have this thing here which is hard to explain, because it's actually a calibration system to set certain parameters on the joystick's hardware and determine the positions of the analog sticks. Something that is done using this connector and this special port that the joystick brings, which is not at all easy to open. In fact, it requires quite a bit of strength. There it is. Boom! Here is a connector that is used to calibrate the analogs. I'm not going to explain how this process is carried out because it's quite complex to explain, and it's better to leave you a link to this video that you're seeing on screen, which is from the brand itself, from Hexgaming, where they explain how to calibrate the analogs one by one. The thing is, with this little device, you can determine the area you want the analog to cover, and even the starting point of the X and Y axis. And if you're too pro and want a very specific analog coverage area because you play in such and such a way, or you want to correct some habit about your hands with corrections on the analog, here you have a lot to investigate. I tell you that the joystick does this, and then if you buy it, if you want to investigate it, then you will. Do it yourself. You saw that in an analog joystick. You have the left, the right, the up and the down in a perfect cross. Well, with this calibration, what you can do is rotate that cross, so that if, for example, the horizontal axis was like this, you can put it like this, put it like this, put it like this, or more. This is useful for correcting some habits when making movements to the sides, up or down. Regarding the gaming feel with the controller, it's very good. You have a rough grip on the back, like rubber, somewhat rigid. It gives you a good grip. It's the size of a DualSense. So if the DualSense fits you well, this one will suit you just as well. It has a beautiful and elegant finish, and the buttons are a very nice detail. It has a cut line here, which is different from the normal DualSense. It has the little logo here and some small letters that don't bother. Obviously, they can't put the PlayStation logo because it's not a PlayStation controller. But in general terms, the use, the distance to the buttons, everything is the same as a DualSense. It just adds those three main features that I was telling you about. So you have a DualSense Pro then. Why buy this thing and not buy a DualSense Edge, for example? The DualSense Edge controller addresses analog stick drift by allowing users to replace the analog sticks, but this solution comes at an additional cost. In this case then, you're not supposed to ever have drift. I didn't have it long enough to experience drift. As I mentioned, the developers assure you won't face this issue. While I can't stake my reputation on it, their promise seems logical, based on the technology it has. And how much does this beauty cost? Which, by the way, comes in different colors. And it comes in different models, including one that is all transparent. Well, it costs what you're seeing on the screen. $229. I already told you it wasn't cheap. This if you wanted to buy it in its most basic version. Now, if you want the version that comes with the case and all the little things I've been showing you, well, this one already costs $260. That's right. They say with free shipping worldwide. That will depend on your specific location and region. There are colors like black, like gray, which is beautiful. And also the very pretty blue. I ordered it in black because I liked it and it was cleaner. The white with blue reminds me a lot of the special Astrobot controller. These people from Hexgaming also develop controllers for Xbox. And some special little things, like controllers for the PlayStation 4. And other things that if you're interested, I can bring to the channel right now a DualSense Edge, which is the premium controller of PlayStation. It costs around $240. Around $250 includes all accessories and levers. And it's nice because it's the official PlayStation controller. So the price of this premium controller from Hexgaming doesn't seem absolutely crazy to me, being at $260, with the promise that you're never going to have drift. We have the vibration of the Play 5, we have the resistive triggers, we have the microphone, the mute, the headphones, even the compatibility with the charging base that I have over here. There it is. It is compatible with the Play 5 charging base. That is to say, we have exactly a DualSense but tuned and supposedly immortal. It's a good title for the video, the Immortal DualSense. And so far, my experience is being very good. Of course, it's not going to be bad. The controller is super elegant, super premium. I love it. But, well, it's not cheap either. If perhaps you play competitive shooters and you find the back buttons useful and you're a bit tired of messing up the analogs or playing Warzone or Call of Duty and others, then perhaps this is a good option for you, as would also be a DualSense Edge. The point is that here you are supposed not to ever change analogs. I will continue testing it, and maybe later, when a year passes, I will make a video with impressions. After a year, if you are interested, I can do it. For now, I can provide links in the video description to help you find information about this product's availability, distribution, and pricing in your country. Thanks to Hexgaming because they sent me this product. This is not a paid promotion, far from it. But the brand did send it to me, and I think it's worth acknowledging that not because they sent it to me, I'm going to speak well of it, okay? You know how this is. But yes, thanks to Hexgaming for sending me this. I loved it. It became my favorite controller. And that's why I'm making the video today. Because if I don't like it, I don't make a video. If you want to keep watching videos about technology and gaming and little things related to PlayStation, I recommend you check out these videos. And if you have any peripheral that you would like me to review, then write to me in the comments and we will look for it with pleasure. I hope you liked and found today's video useful. See you next time. Bye.